Today we will review 6th grade math lesson 8.1. This lesson will cover understanding and applying exponents. Here is your I can statement. I can write and evaluate numerical expressions involving whole numbers, exponents, and explain my solution method to others. Let's review some vocabulary for today's lesson. So I encourage you to write down your vocabulary in a spiral notebook. So the vocabulary that we will be reviewing for today is exponent, base, power, and then the other ones we're going to review is square and squared and cubed. Okay, so a number is written in exponential form when it has a base and an exponent. So for example, if we have 2 to the 5th power, that's your base, the large number, and then the small number up here is your exponent. This is your power. So it's 2 to the power of the 5, and the whole thing written like that is considered exponential form. So when you have a number raised to a power, the power is the exponent. A number raised to the 2nd power is called cubed. So if you have a number 2 to the 2nd power, that is also called 2 cubed. And if you have a number to the 3rd power, that would be, I wrote these backwards. 2 to the 2nd power is called 2 squared. I was getting ahead of myself there. And 2 to the 3rd power is 2 cubed. The exponent tells the number of times that the base is used in the factor. So the expression 2 to the 5th power, 2 is the base and the 5 is the exponent. But the base number tells you how many times the base is used as the factor. So if you look at that, the exponent tells you how many times the base is used. So for 2 to the 5th power, that base is used 5 times as a factor. And this is called repeated multiplication. The other thing in your vocabulary you also want to note is the power of 0 and 1. A base raised to the 0 power has a value of 1. So any number raised to the 0 power equals 1. A base raised to the 1st power is equal to the base. So 2 to the 1st power would be 2. I encourage you to pause this video and complete these problems on your own first, and then go back and see how to solve them together. The number of teams competing in a tournament is equal to 2 to the 5th power. Step 1 will be how many teams are competing in the tournament. So step 1 when you have exponents is you want to write them as repeated multiplication. So 2 to the 5th power, the exponent is telling you the number of times the base is used as a factor, and we do that as repeated multiplication. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 5 times. Because our exponent right here, the 5, tells you how many times you're going to be multiplying the base. Then step 2 is we need to multiply using a pattern. So I know that 2 to the second power is 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 to the third power is 4 times 2 is 8, and so on. The other thing that I do when I have exponents is I write them all out and then I multiply 2 of them together. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4, and then I have a 2 left over. And then I just keep doing that. 4 times 4 is 16 times 2, so my answer is 32. So there are 32 teams in the tournament. Write the following in exponential form. So when we're looking at exponential form, we want to make sure we're writing that with the base and the power. So 5 to the 4th power would be 5 to the 4th power because we have a base and an exponent. 4 cubed would be 4 to the 3rd power. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, I need to count those. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 6 to the 4th power. Then we have 3 squared, that is 3 to the 2nd power. And then we have 8 to the 5th power. And then 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. So there are 6 sevens there. So that would be 7 to the 6th power. For the next set of problems, it says write an equivalent expression using repeated addition. So we need, again, to use repeated addition here. So 9 to the 3rd power, this exponent here is telling you how many of the base. Okay, so it's 9 times 9 times 9, because there's 3 9s, and we're multiplying them out. Remember, it's always repeated multiplication. The next one is 4 to the 5th power. So again, this exponent, that is going to tell you the number of times the base is used as a factor. So that's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. The next one says 3 to the 6th power. Again, my exponent is 6, and that is going to tell me how many number of times the base is used as a factor. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And the last one was we have 10 to the 4th power. So that 4 is telling you the number of times the base is used as a factor. The base is 10. So that's 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. If you want to find some homework problems that are similar to these, this would be on your homework, page 237. And to the last section, find the value of each expression. I'm finding the value. That means I have to solve each of these. So 6 to the 3rd power, then I am going to be doing repeated multiplication here. Again, we're going to be using repeated multiplication to find the value. 6 to the 3rd power will be 6 times 6 times 6. So I would go over here and show my work. I don't want to do this in my head. So 6 times 6 is 36. And then 36 times 6 would be 216. Then this next problem says 2 to the 7th power. So 7 is the exponent that tells me the number of times that the base of 2 is going to be used as a factor. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So I need to go ahead and say 2 times 2, that's 4 times 4 times 4 times 2. I don't want to do this in my head. And then 4 times 4, that would be 16 times 8, because that's 4 times 4 and then 4 times 2. And then 16 times 8 would be 128. So that is our lesson for Module 8, Lesson 1, Grade 6.